I had one more quick order business. If I want to be able to connect multiple basically card readers to the computer downstairs at one point in time, I know there are like cheaper cards, but I'm worried that it's like bandwidth limited. I need 3 USB-C ports that do high-speed data transfer. Does anybody have any suggestion? This is like the best thing that I found. It seems a little pricey, $400 for transferring video files. I'm transferring. So the chain is like this card reader is pulling data off a CFast card, and I want to transfer it to my computer. Right now, it takes about 30 minutes to transfer it takes 30 minutes to transfer a file off that card. So it takes about an hour and a half to do all 3. It's just annoying as f. But I feel like if I have 3 of these readers and I can connect all 3 of them at once to one thing, will it be faster? I think they're about 140 gigabytes per card. Link the card reader. You're wrong about poor people in college. Wrong about what? You're going to be bottlenecked by the disk you're writing to in parallel. What do you think is the average write speed of like a hard disk drive? Isn't it around 700 megabytes per second? Are you talking to Jesse on Fire? On Saturday, I am. The CS disks are slow? That poor people don't have to spend a lot on college because they're poor. Well, I mean, you spend less. I mean, it just depends on the numbers. I don't know. Okay. Are you limited by the card you're pulling from? Let me see. These are the cards that I'm reading from. Max read is 560 megabytes per second, so... Okay, whatever. I'm getting all these things, and then maybe I'll get a new disc in the future if I want. Let's see, what else did we have? Orders. Oh, okay, 2 questions. Is this... So I want to be able to take in, I think I need to take in 1 more or 2 more, maybe even HDMI inputs into my computer. I use 1 of these already. I'm guessing I just have to get a second one. There's no easy way to just, there's not like 1 card that could take like 6 HDMI inputs or something, right? It feels shitty to have to buy a whole other $550 card just for 1 more HDMI input. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of annoying. Black Magic has one, but they are smaller HDMI. Well, that shouldn't matter, right? Black Magic, HDMI, multi-input card. Like, is there one of these that has like 6 inputs or 8 inputs? Because that would be pretty based. I don't think so. Okay, there was that, and then the only other question I had was, if I want to be able to output, is there any way to output more video feeds besides just having another graphics card? Like, let's say you have a GPU and it's got 2 outputs on the back. If you want to output more video, can you just get a PCI card that lets you output video? Or do you have to, is it just like another graphics card? This is the spec page. Dark Premier, thanks. If it's not on Amazon, I don't give a fuck. I'm not signing up to all this other new shit to order. Bullshit. Fuck that. What graphics card do you have? On the computer downstairs, I think a 1080. I just need outputs for it. You'll need a splitter. I don't want to split the same signal. I want to have different signals. Then I guess the question is, which 4000 graphics card most outputs? Which one is like the most HDMI outs? Or the most just outs, period? I don't even know what the fuck kind of... Like if I just want a bunch of outputs, am I looking at a like a workstation card, or would it be like a conventional GPU, or you can just run multiple GPUs with different displays coming from each? What is this 8? Why would it not show me the fucking outputs from the card? Conventional GPUs have mostly 4 outs. Yeah, but the 1080 Ti I have downstairs has like fucking 6 outs or something. I don't know why. It's Giga Chad. You can also cast to the smart TVs from the computer. ROG Strix has the most. Is that a GPU? 4080. Holy shit. Oh, these are for whole laptops. Is that 2 HDMIs and 3 display ports? All consumer NVIDIA GPUs are artificially locked to 4 displays max. You'll need a second GPU, such as an iGPU, in order to use 5 displays. Wait, what? Do you want another signal for stability reasons, or because you want to extend instead of duplicate other displays? I don't know why I opened Notepad. I wanted to... I'm going to go downstairs, I think tonight, and start mapping all this out. Because I think the setup we have now is good. So now I just want to like get wires down and make sure everything is... So I have a computer here. I'm taking, there's a laptop here, and I'm doing one HDMI in from this laptop. I have a camera here. This is supposed to be a camera. It looks like a dick coming out of a box. I don't know why. I want to do one HDMI in here. No, wait. These are my inputs. 1, 2. And then I've got my 3 cameras, my 3 other cameras. So I want to do 5 HDMI ins. Right now I can only take 4, so that's why I'm getting the other card. So these are 5 HDMI inputs. Now I want to be able to do... I have 2 monitors on this desk with unique images. So one... Okay, let's map it out. I need 1 HDMI out here. Another HDMI out here. Or just some monitor output. It doesn't have to be HDMI. I have a monitor that lets us see what we can see on stream. So that's a 3rd output here. I want to be able to send video to the laptop so that when we have viewer call-ins, they can see our camera. So that's output number 4. And then I want to be able to send an output to the big TV behind me. That's number 5. So I've got 5 different outputs that I need. So a 4090 would work? Is that it's like a pimple. If you're running all these cams and lines, you're going to need something more robust than just dumping it all into a PC. No, we run all of it right now, and it works pretty well. The only thing I want to add is one more. I just need one more input, so I just need to throw more card in there. Why don't you use an HDMI splitter of your total camera for the call-ins and a card capture or capture card on the laptop? I am using a capture card on the laptop. That's why I'm saying an HDMI signal to the laptop. 4080 works too. You don't need performance. Maybe. Can you explain what the output to the laptop is? It sends the the output to this laptop sends this camera feed to the laptop so that when we have Discord calls, whoever we're talking to on Discord can see that middle camera feed. Just use an HDMI splitter on the camera so you don't need to send the HDMI back and forth. Yeah, I thought about it. I could split this signal. I feel like, do HDMI splitters have to be powered? Like, I think you need an active splitter for that, don't you? Which is kind of annoying. It might be simpler because if I'm splitting the signal in a couple areas, I don't have to worry about transmitting as much with this computer. Maybe that would be best, actually. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? Quadro card. 8 outputs? Is this even a good card? NVS 810. Okay, I would just have to make sure that I'm powering. We can do that. Okay. All right, I'll figure this out. No, wait. Nope, never mind. Hold on. Wait, I can split one signal. I can't split the signal recording outside because I don't want to just send it back to this monitor. I do need to take it into the computer because I want to be able to overlay stuff. No, hold on. No. I need to get it into the computer. No, that would still be good. I would split it. Why don't you use a Blackmagic A10 Mini for all the cameras? We had one before. Oh, maybe I could work it now, actually, if I tried to set it up again. I'm not sure. Whatever we were using before didn't work. I like being able to take it all into the computer because I can do everything off of OBS. I don't know if I need an A10 for anything. Okay. All right. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Pennsylvania voter fraud stuff. This is the first thing we were doing. Okay. Let me see what time I have to leave tonight. Oh, shit. Okay. NDI is still ideal for ingest. It allows far more configurability if you learn how to use all the tools. SDI/HDMI inputs are locked in and not very dynamic with almost no benefit these days. I don't know why I would want to. I think running everything via cabling is fine, I think. I don't think I need to do any NDI stuff. Let me just make sure. NDI is cabling, but yeah, I get it. Isn't the whole point of NDI is to do it on the internet? Okay. you think there's any merit into eat the frog for ADHD individuals? What the fuck does eat the frog mean? I say thins because it seems like you rarely ever go straight into working on the boring stuff, but instead interact with chat and do memes at the start of stream, which I've heard is not long after you've woken up. I don't know. I don't even know what this is like. Reads like schizophrenic posting to me. Usually I try to do entertaining stuff at the beginning of the stream so that it's not like horrendously fucking boring. It just stalls me on this a lot, but okay. I'm going into the mind box for an hour and a half, okay? Stay bored. Post mixes Pennsylvania primary and general election data to discuss vote by mail irregularities. All right. Okay, so debunking. In the media, debunking personnel, people. December 1st, 2020. Reuters. I wonder if Mastriano was one of the 11 people that were willing to go along with the meme shit. One of the 11 senators. I'm too lazy to look it up. It doesn't matter right now. Okay, we got this. Wait, actually, I don't need to post. It's a debunking of the same thing I'm posting about. So this is on December 1st by Reuters. This is the original claim. Did we ever find out, was anybody able to find out when this was posted here? I've repeatedly explained this claim was false. He was not one of the 11 on the list. Oh, interesting. I wonder why. I wonder why he didn't go along with it. Was he not senator then, or not? Or was this like a state senator maybe? Wait. Such as Pennsylvania Senator Doug Mastriano. Member of the Pennsylvania... state senator. Okay, makes sense. Pennsylvania. What a horribly spelled state name. My God. December 29th. This was really December 1st? Yep. 2020. th 2020. you have an immediate pathway to success for the J6 stuff? When you explained earlier that the insurrection could have led to more Congress people refusing to ratify the vote and open the path. I think the argument would be stronger if instead of arguing it as an insurrection, it would be argued as an unsuccessful coup. Well, there will be the coup and insurrection. Here, listen. Okay, one more overview, okay? Because I hate having to explain this every fucking time. This is the plan, okay? I'm trying to flesh out 4 big stories, okay? Pence's story. Wait, it's going to be the voter fraud stuff, okay? With like 3 really big, obvious lies. Not incorrect statements, but lies. So all of these are going to start with, where did the lie come from? Some bullshit, baseless place. And then how many people said it was false? All these people in the administration and the media. And then how many times did Trump repeat it after that, right? These were some of the most convincing things you could show people to show that Trump was intentionally lying, not just mistaken, not just incorrect, not just, he really thought it. He was lying, okay? Obviously lying. So that's the first part is the voter fraud part, because it's really important. That builds into the electoral slate fraud. So it's just going to be a ton of just like quote statements, people talking about the electoral fraud stuff. It's going to be the Clark and DOJ stuff. It's going to be Pence's stuff. And then it's going to be the J6 stuff. The goal is to have basically one story that builds out into like 3 different things that weave in and out of each other and build on each other and then culminate in the J6 stuff. And the goal is to present it with as much like, you want to like rape people with information. It has to be like, fucking, here's like 50 things for this. Here's like 40 things for this. And it'll just be like things on the screen. Like, oh, so for instance, like on this, like, oh, well, this particular thing was debunked. Rather than like, here's one tweet, it's like, here's 15 different media stories. Here's like 3 speeches or statements from people that work in the state of Pennsylvania. Here's a statement by Barbo, like that. I think that having like actual information, like in huge amounts, especially if there's a link at the end, it's really, really, really convincing. I don't think anybody's bothered to do this. It doesn't seem like it. Well, except the J6 committee that nobody watched. Okay, so this is like the broad outline. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to gather a lot of information to see like what the stories are and how much like video footage I have of like different people saying different things, because hearing people say things on video is way more powerful than me reading a script or reading a tweet from an unrelated party. Once I have that, I'll just like write out the stories where I think they naturally intersect, and then that's basically the plot out for the video, okay? Jesus. My God. Okay. That's the plan. Okay. You got this for Pennsylvania, right? No, this tweet is not about Pennsylvania. In certain swing states, there are more votes than people who voted. No, there's a very specific lie that Trump tells about Pennsylvania. It has to do with 105,000, 205,000, 150,000, or 250,000 votes, more votes than voters. This is a very specific lie that Trump tells over and over and over again, okay? That he's been told is wrong, and the origination is fucking retarded. It's a very specific, I want to follow 3 specific lies, because these specific lies have obviously known points of origination that are bullshit. They are debunked multiple times by media and government people, and then the culmination of them, or the termination of them, is usually the person saying, okay, yeah, fuck, we lied, right? That's an important chain to show. I only have to show that with a few, and then that's it. I don't have to debunk every single one. If I can show you 3 obvious and clear lies, I think it's good. Okay. Oh, see, like, this is a good tweet. Ethan and Hila hot mic drama. I already listened to it. It's the most nothing burger I've ever heard, literally, in my entire life ever. Another Trump tweet. Thank you. Good one. Is this the origination of the Pennsylvania claim, or were they saying it before December? I've already found the origination. It's right here. Some retard pointed out to this retard that if you go on the Department of State website and you look at the number of people that voted versus the number on the State Department website, that there's more people that voted than were listed on the State Department website. And so the conspiracy is, look, there's more people that voted than were registered to vote. But the numbers on the state website were just people registered for the primary. It's not the same number. This was debunked like immediately, but it was repeated by Trump. I think on January 6th, he might have said it. If also any of these lies, if any of these three lies are reported, if Trump says them on his speech on January 6th, that's a really good through line. Okay. What do you post Trump document stuff? You said you were going to post it a few weeks ago, but I couldn't find it. It's literally always destiny.gg/notes. Group of state lawmakers performing extensive analysis of election data today revealed troubling discrepancies between the number of total votes counted and the number of... Is this the same thing? It's the same stupid fucking claim. It is, the 205,000, yeah. Okay. Oh, like this is... Raffensperger call Trump.
It's just not accurate.
Well, I don't know. All I know...
If you mention the Pennsylvania stuff in here, it's also good. Because this call was January 3rd. Is there a YouTube link for all the speeches on the ellipse so I don't have to use that fucking C-SPAN link? Does anybody know? Also, thank God that Raffensperger recorded this phone call.
Not reported yet, but in Detroit, we had 100. I think it was 139% of the people voted. That's not too good. In Pennsylvania, that's not too good. In Pennsylvania, they had well over 200,000 more votes than they had people voting. And that doesn't play too well, and it's not too good. In Pennsylvania, they had well over 200,000 more votes than they had people voting, and that doesn't play too well. And the legislature there which is Republican, is extremely activist and angry. But I mean, there were other things also that were almost as bad as that. But.
Oh, and this guy was at Jan 6? What the fuck? Oh, this is a good... Oh, give me the fucking images. Oh, thank you for that link for the speeches. Oh, thank you. What is the date on this fact check? When did this become a thing that we posted stuff without a fucking date? Was this must have been fact checked like during a debate or something, huh? Fact checked by a true American patriot. December 29th. December 29th on Monday. Oh, I see, okay. We already watched this? Control F, Pennsylvania. Was this part of a lawsuit? This particular claim? Or was this just a procedural issue that they challenged them on? Trump, election cases, Wikipedia. Don't they have a list of all of them? Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania also is one of the states, one of the only states where he actually won one of his suits. Or was the only state where he won one suit. Not this. Pennsylvania. Allowing the receipt of ballots after election day. Let's see, lawsuit filed. The constitutionality of 3 Pennsylvania Supreme Court decisions. Nope, okay. This is November 22nd. So this is not in reference to the particular Pennsylvania lie. This is November 7th, so I don't think this one... Yeah, these are other ones. Oh my god. Oh no, this isn't even Trump. This is somebody else.
So they can say that there's no voter fraud, but see, we know that there is. We know
She's gonna repeat the
they
Pennsylvania.
can say that there's no voter fraud, but see, we know that there is. We know that in Pennsylvania, 200,000 ballots, more than 200,000 ballots were returned that weren't sent out. We know there's voter fraud in Georgia. Do you know yesterday that it sent out 200,000 ballots, more than 200,000 ballots were returned that weren't sent out.
She's the chair of the Georgia GOP. Is that true? The chair of Georgia GOP. This says Joshua McCoon is. Do you just lie? Are you fucking lying? Which, what was the name of this lady? Did you go over Dick Durbin's report? Nope, but we can though. Does anybody remember? Amy Kremer. Is this her?
We know there's voter fraud in Georgia. Do you know yesterday that suitcases were sold out across the state of Georgia?
Jesus.
From the Capitol building.
Okay, that's Pennsylvania Avenue.
We now have letters from 5 legislatures begging us to do that.
This is a lie.
They're asking us. Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona.
Election was over at 10 o'clock in the evening. We're leading Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia by hundreds of thousands of votes. And then late in the evening or early in the morning, boom, these explosions of bullshit. And all of a sudden...
Are those the ones they made up? No. They got like a few state senators in different states to send them letters saying, we want to contest the election. And they're pretending like a majority of the legislatures. It's just a fucking lie.
All of a sudden, it's...
Does he make anything? I think he... Does he say that? Does he say the Pennsylvania thing?
And even these guys knew what happened. They know
Like the
what happened.
specific lie.
They're saying, wow, Pennsylvania is insurmountable. Wow, Wisconsin. Look at the big leads we had. Anyway, and that's totally illegal. That's totally illegal. You can't do that. In Pennsylvania, the Democrat Secretary of State and the Democrat State Supreme Court justices illegally abolished the signature verification requirements just 11 days prior to the election. So think of what they did. no longer is there signature verification. Oh, that's okay. We want voter ID, by the way. But no longer is there signature verification. 11 days before the election, they say, we don't want it. You know why they don't want it? Because they want to cheat. That's the only reason. Who would even think of that? We don't want to verify a signature?
Oh, and he says it. He repeats it right here for me. Thank you so much.
There were over 205,000 more ballots counted in Pennsylvania. Now think of this. You had 205,000 more ballots than you had voters. That means you had 200. Where did they come from? You know where they came from? Somebody's imagination, whatever they needed. So in Pennsylvania,
True. It did come
you had
from
205,000 more votes than you had voters. And the number's actually much greater than that now. That was as of a week ago. And this is a mathematical impossibility unless you want to say it's a total fraud.
What's the meaningful difference between the ECA and the 12th Amendment? Why did Eastman claim that the 12th was unconstitutional? And what would Trump gain from removing the ECA? Okay, here's the thing to keep in mind, okay? On civil law, debating me back on this once, but now I feel stronger on this, that I don't like his phrasing on it. I'm not going to say he was wrong, but the Constitution is up here. The Supreme Court, the legislature, and the president are here. The Constitution is not like on the same level as laws from Congress, okay? The Constitution is above all of this. It's not all just law. The Constitution is above and powers all of these three things, okay? Now, there was a way that elections were done ever since like the 1870s because of how clusterfucked one of the elections were. We passed legislation in the Congress called the Electoral Count Act. I think that's what ECA stands for. Is that Electoral Certification Act? Same shit. Oh my God. Electoral Count Act. Yes. And this basically laid out the processes and procedures by which the Congress shall count votes, electoral votes. Now, this is the thing. I don't know how much civics I'm going to have to do in this video to explain this, but anytime Trump, Eastman, Giuliani, Sidney Powell, anytime one of these people says constitutional, what they're really saying is we want to break the law. That's what they're saying. We're breaking the law. But we can do it because it's constitutional. What they're saying, every time they appeal to the 12th Amendment, the 12th Amendment says, the electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state in themselves. Okay. And in distinct ballots, person voters, and all persons and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates and votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes. Okay. So what they're trying to argue is they're saying that, well, the 12th Amendment actually gives supreme authority to the vice president to do whatever the fuck he wants. And the ECA as written is unconstitutional because it contradicts the 12th Amendment. That's their theory, but nobody's ever said this. We've used the ECA for almost like 150 years, and nobody has ever thought that it's unconstitutional. That was just their plan. That was their plan to break the law and toss the ECA. So they're saying that the 12th Amendment would actually overrule the ECA. Now, when Eastman was confronted on this, he admitted that he would have lost in the Supreme Court either 7-2 or 9-0. And we know that they're trying to break the law by circumventing the ECA. But that's whenever they say 12th Amendment, that's what they're talking about. They're saying the vice president actually has the power to overrule what's in the ECA and just choose the winner himself, basically. But that's the, yeah. Was their theory. Okay. I just want to talk about Pennsylvania. The big vote dump. Oh, Donahue. Is there a video of Donahue saying this? talking about the Pennsylvania, like of him speaking this. Fuck, I have so many different ways. My next project, I'm learning things every project. I needed to archive big videos, or I should have just done... Before starting a big research project like this, the best thing to do would be to list your major sources somewhere and then to be able to reference them instead of having to refine like the same shit over and over again. That would be such a better way of organizing shit, but... okay. January 6th. YouTube. Can you explain why it's improper for Trump to threaten replacing Donahue with Clark if he is the head of the executive and thus the DOJ? Because Donald Trump wanted to replace them because they wouldn't sign a letter that was a lie to the state legislature saying that the DOJ was finding significant evidence of voter fraud. Donald Trump wanted his Department of Justice to lie to the state legislatures and say, hey, we found a ton of voter fraud. You guys should probably, like, undo your elections. But the DOJ hadn't found it. That was a lie. And when Rosen and Donahue said, we're not going to do that, Clark, some guy way down in the DOJ, was like, well, I can do it. Trump was like, well, fuck, I should make that dude boss then, and he'll do it. That's not okay. What is the, which one of these has Donahue? Like, I want some of you respond to YouTube chat? Nope. Fuck, I should just have like a... No, I just have to look. Okay. Donahue... How do you spell this stupid fucking name? Testimony, January 6th committee. Offered more details in his June 23rd testimony.
Tim.
Okay, June 23rd. So Donahue should be in here.
No for an answer.
Wants to send. That letter is a murder-suicide pact. It's going to damage everyone who touches it. And we should have nothing to do with that letter.
Oh, I'm so happy this is on. Oh, this is good. This is on recording too. This is for the Clark story.
Saying, and but you go back to your office and we'll call you like that.
Oh, yes. Oh, and the Hirschman stuff. Oh, I'm so glad there were multiple people for these meetings. Oh, this guy is talking about the, he's talking about the big DOJ meeting, and now he's quoting Hirschman's, not Hirschman's deposition, but what he remembers happening.
He kind of retorted by saying, well, I've done a lot of very complicated appeals and civil litigation, environmental litigation, and things like that.
And then we jump back in and, really clobber him.
I made the point that Jeff Clark is not even competent to serve as the Attorney General. He's never been a criminal attorney. He's never conducted a criminal investigation in his life. He's never been a front grand jury, much less a trial jury. And he kind of...
This is also why it would be strange to have him as the... I wasn't even getting into, like, qualifications, but this is also kind of weird.
Retorted by saying, well, I've done a lot of very complicated appeals and civil litigation, environmental litigation, and things like that. And I said, that's right, you're an environmental lawyer. How about you go back to your office and we'll call you when there's an oil spill? And Pat Cipollone weighed in at one point, I remember saying, that letter that this guy wants to send, that letter is a murder-suicide pact. It's going to damage everyone who touches it. And we should have nothing to do with that letter. I don't ever want to see that letter again. And so we went along those lines.
I thought Jeff's proposal, Clark's proposal, was nuts. I mean, this guy, at a certain point, listen, the best I can tell is the only thing you know about environmental and elections challenges is they both start with E.
And I'm not even sure about that anymore. Yeah, fuck, I'm glad this is in audio.
Based on your answers tonight, I'm not even certain you know that.
The president said, suppose I do this. Suppose I replace him, Jeff Rosen, with him, Jeff Clark. What do you do?
Well, we know these men before us did the right thing.
Okay, but I want to see him. Does he mention the Pennsylvania stuff? Or is this only in written form for deposition? Show transcript. The president then continued, there are more votes than voters, but I was aware of that allegation, and I said, that I was a matter of comparing that 2020 votes cast to 2016 registration numbers. Control F registration. Fuck! I wonder if it's not in, Wait, do I not have Donahue's deposition? Wait.
I tried to, again, put this in perspective and to try to put it in very clear terms to the president.
Oh, this was June 13th, a different day. Oh, good for me for having this. Thank God. Holy shit.
And I said something to the effect of, sir, we've done dozens of investigations, hundreds of interviews. The major allegations are not supported by the evidence developed. We've looked at Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Nevada. We're doing our job.
Can you reference the specific Pennsylvania
Much of the info you're getting is false. And then I went into, for instance, this thing from Michigan, this
please
report
do the Pennsylvania
about 68%
one. Give it to me.
Reality is it was only 0.0063% error rate, less than 1 in 15,000. So the president accepted that. He said, okay, fine, but what about the others? And again, this gets back to the point that there were so many of these allegations that when you gave him a very direct answer on one of them,
he just hopped to another.
Wouldn't fight us on it, but he would move to another allegation. So then I talked about a little bit about the Pennsylvania truck driver. This is another allegation that had come up.
Do the 105,000, 200,000 votes.
This claim was by a truck driver who believed, perhaps honestly, that he had transported an entire tractor-trailer truck full of ballots from New York to Pennsylvania. And this was, again, out there in public and discussed. And I essentially said, look, we looked at that allegation. We looked at both ends, both the people who load the truck and the people who unload the truck. And that allegation was not supported by the evidence. Again, he said, okay. And then he said, no, I didn't mention that one. What about the others? And I said, okay, well, with regard to Georgia, we looked at the tape, we interviewed the witnesses.
No,
there is no suitcase. The president kept fixating on the suitcase that supposedly had fraudulent ballots and that the suitcase was rolled out from under the table. And I said, no, sir, there is no suitcase. You can watch that video over and over. There is no suitcase. There is a wheeled bin where they carry the ballots, and that's just how they move ballots around that facility. There's nothing suspicious about that at all. I told them that there was no multiple scanning of the ballots. One part of that allegation was that they were taking one ballot and scanning it through 3 or 4 or 5 times to rack up votes, presumably for Vice President Biden. I told him that the video did not support that. Then he went off on double voting. At the top of the next page, he said, dead people are voting. Indians are getting paid to vote. He meant people on Native American reservations. He said there's lots of fraud going on here. Told him flat out that much of the information he's getting is false and or just not supported by the evidence. We look at the allegations, but they don't pan out.
Mr. Barr and his advisor.
Shut up. Fuck. Does he not bring up the Pennsylvania one directly? I don't think this is the same one.
Of mailing and binding and unbinding all those mail-in votes. In some states, like Pennsylvania, refuse to count the votes first, so you have to wait for all of that to come in. So in every election, certainly a national election, you expect to see the Republican with a lead, but it's not really a lead. When you put together a jigsaw.
Massive dumps.
This election was over, and then they did dumps. They call them dumps, big, massive dumps in Michigan and Pennsylvania and all over. How the FBI and Department of
Oh, shit. Oh, and it's Barr. Barr is going to do the Pennsylvania one. Oh. He's going to do it. He is going to do it. Big boy Barr. Let's hear it.
Ticket. So that does not suggest that the election was stolen by fraud. How about Pennsylvania, Bill McSwain? We were talking to the U.S. Attorney in Philadelphia about an alleged discrepancy between the number of absentee ballots issued and the number of ballots cast. Right. So that was one of the big ones for a period of time. I think that was raised at Gettysburg by Giuliani or something like that. But it kept on being repeated, and I found it annoying because.
And he finds it annoying. He finds it annoying because it's so easily debunked. Yes, say this.
I didn't see that it was right, so I called McSwain, and he got back to me. He said, no, the problem is that Mastriano threw out
The Mastriano's fucking retarded. He was He looked at a website and he did a little bit of retardation, and then everybody just repeated it for months.
Threw out this number, and what he did was he mixed apples and oranges. He took the number of applications for the Republican primary and he compared it to the number of absentee votes cast in the general election. But once you actually go and look and compare apples to apples, there's no discrepancy at all. And that's one of the. I think at some point I covered that with the president.
And Barr was out by end of December? When did Barr resign? Barr resigns. It's right after that AP. Is it middle December? Might be mid-December. Because it was after that AP article came out. So this was before December 15th, right? Would depart next week. Ending 18. Okay. So this would have been before December 14th. Is the doc you used for the focus group available somewhere? I want to try converting some family. Yes, destiny.gg/notes. But wait for me to finish this one, okay? This will be more coherent and less autistic. Any other Pennsylvania mentions? This is what we just listened to with
ticket. So that does not suggest that the election was stolen by fraud. How about Pennsylvania?
Okay, this is more Barr stuff.
The Trump campaign's lack of evidence was criticized by judges across the political spectrum. In Pennsylvania, a Trump-appointed judge concluded, quote, charges require specific allegations and proof. We have neither here.
If she wants to come on stream and talk, she can, but her positions just seem really boring. Why is he wrong about geopolitics? Mostly because he projects his Western thinking onto a death cult. Muslims don't want land. They want a bloodbath. Even if every last Palestinian dies, this is a sacrifice they're willing to make. Actually, the Palestinians would only see that as a net positive. Like the easy thinking, or the question here, I guess if she wants to have an argument or debate, then you've got to give me a really compelling reason why. Even when the Muslim Brotherhood took over in Egypt, they still honored the treaty that they had with Israel. I think the guy, I don't remember the guy's name in 2011, I think he even wrote a letter to the president of Israel saying, yo, we're still chill, don't worry. Wink, wink. Jordan historically has worked with Israel basically since before its inception. Abdullah or Hussein. I mean, you've got the Abraham Accords where countries have signed on, especially Saudi Arabia. Like, the idea that all the Muslims just want to kill Israel just doesn't seem to be borne out by history. It just doesn't seem to be borne out by the actions everybody's taken. But, you know, I don't know. If you have a way to convince me of that, then...
Another Trump-appointed judge warned that if cases like these succeeded, quote, any disappointed loser in a presidential election able to hire a team of clever lawyers could flag claimed deviations from election results and cast doubt on election results. The list goes on and on. Allegations are called, quote, an amalgamation of theories, conjecture, and speculation. In another, strained legal arguments without merit, unsupported by evidence, derived from wholly unreliable sources, a fundamental and obvious misreading of the Constitution. The rejection of President Trump's litigation efforts was overwhelming. 22 federal judges appointed by Republican presidents, including 10 appointed by President Trump himself, and at least 24 elected or appointed Republican state judges dismissed the president's claims. At least 11 lawyers have been referred for disciplinary proceedings due to bad faith and baseless efforts to undermine the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Rudy Giuliani had his license to practice law suspended in New York. And just this week, a newly filed complaint will potentially make his suspension from practicing law in D.C.
Okay. Look at the shit that she's retweeting. London, England. A pack of 50 Africans beat a lone 15-year-old white British girl nearly to death. Jesus. Based. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. It sounds like this call happened on December 27th, actually. With Richard Donahue. I don't have this linked somewhere here? Fuck. Me, fuck. Why didn't Trump appoint Rudy Giuliani as AG? Maybe he thought it would have been way too far. Wait. Did I forget to link something here?
I tried to, again, put this in perspective and to try to put it in very clear terms to the president.
Right, clear.
And I said something to the effect of, sir, we've done dozens of investigations, hundreds of interviews. The major allegations are not supported by the evidence developed. We've looked at Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Nevada. We're doing our job. Much of the info you're getting is false. And then I went into, for instance, this thing from Michigan, this report about 68% error rate. The reality is it was only 0.0063% error rate.
Oh wait, he didn't say. I don't have an exact quote from him about the Pennsylvania stuff in here. Okay. So I need his deposition. Richard Donahue. I never spelled this guy's name correctly. Deposition. Should try Culver's Burgers if you ever try. Oh, I've been to Culver's before. Culver's is a good restaurant too. Absolutely. Pennsylvania. Okay, the 205,000 votes. Oh, this is the 1227 call. Okay. Page 48. Paste. Get schizophrenia, get off liberal internet websites, stop following leftists. Destiny's leading to something. Oh, good one. True. Apologies for bringing up a different topic, but do we know what's going on in the West Bank at the moment? Where can I check an unbiased news report about it? Good question. Let me go check. Hold on. Just kidding. 1 second.